everybody. Josh the RV Nerd of Bish's RV here at my hometown Coldwater, Michigan Superstore. Behind me, an RV that might have a split personality disorder, the 22 RBS. And I say that because you can find it either called Salem or Wildwood, but it's the exact same thing. And now they've fractured the personality a bit further by offering an optional fiberglass exterior that frankly I think looks pretty fantastic on this. Take a look with our floor plan in a flash here. This is a fantastic couples camper. I think it fits very nicely within the realm of half-ton towability. And what they did here is they stretched it out a little bit versus a lot of versions of this that you see, but it's still under 30 foot. You haven't changed the tow vehicle. It's still late model tow package half-ton capable. What they did here, though, is they dressed up that bathroom wall. They made it a nice little kind of feature accent wall that you don't see the RV industry do a lot. I'm really happy to see just everything not be so bland and boxy and square. It looks good. You've got a version of their Versa furniture here where it's a big giant lounge, but it's got a full sofa built into it. It also has a removable table that you can include with that and have a little Dinofa action. It has full storage underneath of it and folds down into a big sleeper. So if you are looking for couples camping situations, but occasionally you want a guest with you, and maybe the guest isn't like 4 foot tall, this is something that can get the job done, especially when we start getting in the shower, because this RV has a taller ceiling, which I personally really like. And they've done a thing with the bed in the front of this one that we're going to dive into here. It is an uncommon size, but it allows you to put in whatever residential bed you want, which is something that these models didn't used to do in the past. They have their enclosed armored accessibility underneath this thing. They've improved the stabilizer jacks, gone to the LCI quick drop stabilizer, which I'm really excited about. And based on your feedback, they've started offering at least a basic solar package. We're looking at that today as well. There's some things like you might not like the fact that it has floor heating vents. The travel access on this, you're going to lose the bedroom in transit and that kind of stuff, giving you good, bad, ugly, and in-between information, letting you choose which one's the right RV for you. That's what I want to do here today, and if you appreciate that kind of look at stuff, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and let's get started. And this is one of those really interesting in-betweener sizes. Like I said, they made it a little bit bigger, and where you can kind of see that is when we get to the seating in the slide out. A lot of people who build this, like it's only as big as a theater seat or a 2-bench dinette. This has a slightly condensed, but a variation of their Versa lounge, which creates a big chunk of space, and that means the RV had to be a little bit longer. And when you figure they're not using the Shorty McShortpants bed in the bedroom, the RV is a little bit bigger than it necessarily had to be. But that's the kind of creature comfort space I think you're going to enjoy every day. Now, you might notice they don't ship these with any kind of television. They kind of let you pick a little bit of dealer's choice. They do give us the electric space heat and fireplace down there to burn your bunions and toast your tootsies, or fry your phalanges, depending on how scientifical you want to get with it. I love how they churched up and dressed up that bathroom wall, that nice little radius work right there. It's now officially truly a pocket door versus just like a sliding barn style door. It provides no additional function for the RV. It just looks really cool, and frankly, I'm kind of here for it. I also really commend them for using the Ahsoka Tano bright white lights above the slide out versus the Obi-Wan Kenobi blue lightsaber lighting. Now, everybody's got their own little preference, but that one happens to be mine right there. And we're going to get to see this thing over here in all of its forms and functions in a minute. But one of the things I like about it, it's if you just want to like lay across it and take a little daytime snooze, it is long enough that an adult-sized person can do that. And if you want to kind of kick your feet up, you know, you got the lounge portion of it over here. You can stuff a pillow in that corner and, like I said, stretch out and lay across this thing. I tell you, one of the things I think I would do is I would get a pair of those like floating cube ottoman things to act as a little bit of a footrest in front of the primary sofa area. Plus, those things have extra storage. Ironically, more storage is not necessarily something this RV needs, but I don't know that more storage is ever the wrong answer. Something else that makes this RV look a little bit bigger is the fact that it's a little bit taller than the average bear. It's 6'9" tall versus 6.5, which is what most stick and tin trailers are. There are a number of other 6'9" trailers, but there's a couple of them that have actually shrunken down recently, trying to be, I think, a little penny wise and pound foolish. 12-volt DC compressor fridge over there, and I actually really credit the Salem and Wildwood group for really being the ones to kind of bring that to the mainstream of the market and popularize it. They adopted and set that trend way before it was cool in the mass marketplace. Like I actually was very resistant to it when I first found out about it. And then once we got them in here, we started stocking them, and I started seeing the performance and how much people liked out of them. I kind of became a fan. And then I did a little bit of test camping myself, and I like them. I like them a lot. They cool faster. They're super travel safe. Your truck can power them in transit. They're very easy to manage. If you're hardcore boondocker in the trees or in the, in the clouds, it might not work great for you. Now, one thing this RV doesn't do fantastically is campside windows. They give us a full window in the door, not set up for a shade or anything, so you may want to, depending on what you like to do, figure out some kind of privacy there. At least we have a window over here in the kitchen, and I do like the household power outlets, although we have a lot of outlets all in one location. I don't know, am I wrong? Like, we've got 4 plugs all in one spot. If like one of those sets of plugs were over here in the middle of that wall, I don't know. I wouldn't really hate it. The way that a lot of brands handle the corner of the countertop in this area is a little bit janky, and it's not a massive prep space camper. But by giving us, I'm going to back you up, sorry, and I'm going to point you down. By giving us toe kicks, you can go belly right up to the bar. So if you need to get right up to this sink to do dishes, you can. It's kind of a 50-50 half farm, half split sink. What do people think about that? Like, is that a good little in-between option, or is it not actually as good as either of the other 2 options? I don't know. I've never really used one of those, so I'll rely on some of your input. But what I was getting at is you have good dedicated sink space. Now we have some good dedicated prep space over here, which kind of makes a lot of sense to me. And I would say that overhang right there makes a nice spot for a wastebasket, but you're going to see under the sink they already did that for us. We'll get there in a minute, though. That big, wide-open sliding door for the bedroom is also one of the things that makes the RV look and feel a little bit bigger. I do like how they give the sliding door a magnet plate so that it doesn't tend to jiggle open. Very handy, if you happen to be fighting a fitted sheet a little bit aggressively, and, you'd like to do so in privacy. So, you're not embarrassed by people watching you fight your fitted sheets. Neither here nor there. The ceiling is a little bit taller, so they give us just a light switch for all the ceiling lights. Just nice little touches like that. Our main cabin lights, by the way, are on a dimmer switch. And I left this door open so that you could see, they just flat out call it their CPAP storage cabinet. You see how inside their wardrobe towers, they have household outlets? So that if you want to keep I would keep my wireless phone charger in there. And then if like one of your idiot friends drunk texts you in the middle of the night, like we all know that one person, right? We all have that one friend. Your phone lighting up won't tend to bother you. And we'll get a look at all this big storage in a minute here. I really commend them, too, for fully enclosing the storage overhead. Again, right now, there's a massive trend in the RV industry of decontenting. Manufacturers finding out how much can we peel out of the campers. And that's not what this group is doing, and I really respect it. Like, they're still maintaining a big breeze window over here. USB outlets on both sides of the bed, not just one or the other. This is kind of neat, but also kind of weird. So, the team there, they like to call it their custom king-size bed. And if you look at the measurements, 66 by 78, it's actually not a king at all. It's definitely custom, but it's much, much closer to an Olympic queen-sized mattress. And every time I say that, somebody leaves me a comment that says, Olympic queen's not a bed size. It actually is. You can look up standardization of bed sizes on Google, and Olympic queen is a real size. It's just very uncommon. So my 2 cents, personally, I'd kind of prefer them just to go with a normal straight true queen, because then it's easier to find mattresses, it's easier to find sheets. That's just my little nerdy spin on it. I'd be kind of curious to know what you think. Now, you're probably wondering why I'm just staring dead at the mattress. It's because what you're going to see under it right about now. Dedicated laundry hamper and basically dresser storage built in under the bed with an easy lift platform. And again, full storage above the bed that is all nicely fully enclosed. Sliding back into the kitchen, again, you see that bigger, almost 11 cubic foot, 12 volt DC compressor fridge. And they do an interesting thing of drawers inside of a door.
that actually is something that gives you the full drawer function and lowers total cost of the RV, because drawer fronts are expensive, so they can do one door instead of two drawer fronts. And that ends up saving you some bucks without really causing you to lose anything, which I think is kind of neat. A big walk-in pantry entertainment center right by the door. Also, we got that whole Versa Lounge thing. And again, it's great for just daytime lounging, but you've got the blackout roller shades. You've got full storage below it. There's a dining table that actually stores inside of the lounge itself, so you don't got to worry about finding a different place for it. It becomes a big sleeper. Like, it just does a little bit of everything. And in one of these interesting little in-betweener sizes like this, I think it makes a lot of sense. And it's one of my favorite parts of this RV. Although, that being said, I really do like the radius on that wall right there. Like, you don't see a lot of radius work done in the RV industry. Usually it's just so boxy and bland and ugly. Like, it reminds me how cars used to look cool, and then in the 1980s they got very boxy and square, and now they're kind of starting to look a little bit smexy again, you know. This is where I was telling you, your living area, you do have dimmer lighting. If you push and hold this, it will swell the lights down and then swell the lights back up, and you can just rub your finger across it to turn the lights off and on. Actually, the camera seems to be picking that up. Let me dim this down here. Sometimes the camera's not getting that. This camera's really funny. Sometimes it will like fight a low light situation, and it will artificially brighten the image, and as a result, sometimes you can't see when things change. It's just one of those things. We've got some serious space around the toilet right there. I will get you a look at my little toilet selfie champion routine in just a few minutes here. There's something. What is it about a window in a bathroom that churches the place up? I don't know. The one thing I think this bathroom needs is right along there. I think we need a towel bar, or like two of them, or something. I think we need a place to dry towels right there. But that's that like easy stuff to fix. I call that screwdriver work, because this is a stick-built trailer. So roughly every 16 inches on center, which is about residential spec, there's a stud in that wall that you could tap into. Now, first you get a stud finder. Fellas, hold it up to your chest and say, yup, there's one. Now it's properly calibrated. Now go find your studs. And anybody who wants to argue with me on that has obviously never properly calibrated a stud finder before. I made sure to teach my daughter that, by the way, so that one day she knows what a good guy looks like. You know what I mean? So stupid. Really good headroom in the shower, though, because we do have that taller ceiling. And I'm not a big fan of open face storage, but it's thin, so if you stuff towels in there, it should be fine. The good news, we got plenty of other storage in this bathroom. Now, flipping around the other direction, getting out of the shower, this is kind of what we might see right here. I like how they dress up that wall behind the mirror. Sometimes just a little change in print and pattern really kind of churches up the joint. And I actually like how they didn't try to put some kind of cabinet door next to the toilet over here, which would make it awful hard to be able to access. Now, the space around that toilet, I think, is really, really fantastic. They did a really good job there. And I think the shelf under the sink would be perfect for a couple extra rolls. The old butt napkins, yes, sir. Now, looking over to the left, you see a couple big doors, and there is some storage galorage going on in there. They could have probably chopped, a foot and a half off this RV if they would have condensed and shrunken down this bathroom. But I'm kind of glad they didn't. It's still under 30 feet. It's still well within the range of a lot of half-ton towing. I'm glad they did what they did here. Now, this floor plan does have one potential major Achilles heel for you. And if you appreciate that we close the slides to show you this stuff, even if it means it might be the reason you don't buy the RV, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button or like our video. Let us know that we're doing a good job out there for you. But this is what I'm going to call travel stop capable, but not really travel stayover readily accessible. Because if you get in here, you can get to the fridge, you can get to the kitchen, you can get to the bathroom. But unless you open that slide out, you are flat going to lose access to the bedroom. Just no way around it. But a quick note, this is a rack and pinion slide. And one of the benefits of that, not only is that it is generally deemed the most reliable for heavy weight slides, like a big deep slide like this, but it does allow you to partially open the slide
rather than fully extending the slide. If you just want to like slip up into the bedroom, maybe you just want to throw some bags or you want to pack there, or you just want to get your dirty clothes and get out and deal with the rest later. That being said, you don't want to leave the slide partially open. You don't want to try to use the slide unless it's fully opened. So you don't want to like crack it halfway and then go sleep overnight and then close it behind you. That's not ideal in case it rains. It's not fully sealed that way. A little extra tidbit for you there. Now, opinions on this might vary, but overall, I do think this is a pretty fair pairing for a late model tow package half ton, and I want to kind of phrase it like that. And even then, you still want to double check the weights and towing capacities on the truck in question. There's just no way to just say, oh, it's half-ton towable, and then walk away. That's not a good idea. Now, this is the Platinum Edition, which is the optional fiberglass exterior. And that's really all Platinum is. Like, Platinum kind of sounds like it's a whole package, like a Cherokee Black Label, for instance. But that's not what this is. It's just fiberglass. But, man, it sure churches up the joint, doesn't it? Now, they've kept all the cool features pretty much from last year, except for one thing, which kind of I would like to see them bring back. It's a small thing, and I can take care of it for you at the shop. But we've got a little dry erase board here on the underside of the baggage door, and I'd always be curious, like, what would you do with that? Any fun ideas? Now, they have a big front pass-through. They do a smaller door on that side, but at least it's wider, so if you have some of those nice, like, zero-gravity, nice camping chairs, you can slide them in or out either side. We're outfitted today with the optional 200-watt solar package. That is a 30-amp charge controller over there. And the one little thing I wish they would bring back from last year is that little drill bit adapter. I don't even know what that is. Adapter for the stabilizers. I think a Japter is a stabilizer jack adapter. I think that's where my brain went with this. But like, they've been doing the JT Strong Arm stabilizers for years. And now that's basically integrated with the new LCI Quick Drop stabilizer right here. Those things provide some absolutely stellar stability. And if we get down here, you see how we're enclosed, and these are a forced air heated belly. A lot of your stick and tin trailers out there don't actually heat the belly. They might enclose it. Some of them only enclose the holding tanks, and this is a full belly enclosure just for a little bit of extra protection, which is nice. Now, just in case you're kind of curious, this is still a stick-built structure. A lot of times when people see fiberglass, they immediately think aluminum structure because they kind of do sort of go hand in hand. The fiberglass itself is laminated to a double thick Luan backer, and that helps really kind of give it that good, clean look, smooth surface. But it is still a stick-built structure. If you prefer a laminated thing, well, the Heritage Glen laminated cousin to this, they got you covered. It's called a 22 RBHL, and once you know it, we got some video footage of that for you. I do really like how the speakers are down low. If you're going to include some outside speakers, let's get them down away from the roof line. That is the area, to me, that makes the most sense so we're not blowing away the neighbors. Now, this floor plan really requires those stable steps because they do fold down directly over the wheel well. Those stable steps have actually allowed factory engineers to better load balance a lot of RVs. Pretty decent patio awning size on this one, and they don't include it, but they are prepped and ready for one of those telescopic removable ladders up there in the top right corner, which is a handy feature because these have had a walkable roof for a long time, but you never really knew it because they never included a ladder. So it just kind of helps, connect those dots a little bit. Now, you can barely see it peeking up over the roof line, and just to give you another little quick peek of it right here, again, we are looking at that optional solar package. It's 200 watts. The 30-amp controller should be able to accept an additional 200-watt panel, so you might be able to put some expansion on here, but if you want like serious full-time off-grid big solar, well, that is going to require a little more doing. Now, what I can't remember, because, man, I live in the RV business, but I just see too many of them, is it a single sewer outlet? And it is! They did plumb everything together here, so you don't have to, get a Y splitter or go, you just don't gotta mess with it. This is so much better and easier. This is awesome. And just to kind of complete the visual 360 as we go around here, it is worth mentioning your slides are slide awning prepped. You can see little prep brackets up there. A lot of slides can still accept a slide awning, even if they're not specifically prepped for it. There's structure underneath that slide awnings could be anchored into. And a neat little thing. They do have magnet, I cannot speak today, magnet holdbacks on their baggage doors. I say I can't speak today, as if that implies that normally I have a strong grasp of the English language, which I don't. And again, if you like what you see here, but you're like, even with the fiberglass, maybe I don't like a stick-built structure, or I want a version of this RV that has a direct entry bedroom door so I can bypass the travel access hiccup that this one has. Check the links in the video description. Not only will you find pricing and availability down there wherever we have one of these parked, you'll also see some other similar models that I've been able to do some videos on so that you can always find the one that best fits you, because helping you find your second camper the first time, that's kind of the goal here. And doing it without hidden dealer fees, that's one of the nice things Bish's does for you. We also have things like when you become a Bish's customer, you get free winterizations for as long as you own that RV that you bought from us, new or used, which is kind of cool. Bunch of other little benefits that go along with it. But for now, let's see if we can find you the right camper. And until next time, take care, stay safe, have fun, and Cappy Hampin', everyone. It was so close.